going to change by Jackie. And the title of the speech is Real Estate Investment in Hong Kong, and the speaker is Paul Lam. Please welcome Paul. Paul, are you crazy? Now the real estate price is so high, now you're trying to persuade me to do property investment? You idiot, I'm not going to listen to you. I guess that's what you're thinking right now, right? No way. Actually, I'm not going to tell you whether it is a good time to buy or a good time or not a good time to buy. I'm just trying to tell you the process of how you do it. Actually, from my experience, there are 3 steps when you try to go look for property. It's either for yourself, for self-use, or is for investment purpose. There are 3 steps. Now, the first step is at the beginning, you're gonna go view the property at the very beginning. Did anyone ever go view a property before, either for your own use or for rental purpose? Okay, I guess most of you have experience in that. That is the fun part. When you go view a property, you don't view only one, right? For newcomers to town or some people, local people who's been in the city for a long time, I guess when you go view a property, you view many, many properties. There's a lot of fun. You will see that actually how do people behave when they are in their own flat, how do they construct their own home. It's a lot of fun. When you view a flat, usually there is a property agent that goes with you. The property agent usually secure their own benefit with signing up a property viewing agreement. That agreement tells you that actually if you're going to rent or buy the property within the coming 3 months, you're going to get him a commission. Commission is usually 1% of the property price if you're going to buy it. That is the fun part. You're going to negotiate with the real estate agent about the price. Say, for example, now this flat has a sea view. Oh, this flat is good, it has a sea view. How much is it? Oh, it's so much out of our budget. I don't like sea view. You know, when typhoon comes, the window will open. So you got to give me a discount. So that's how it works. But during the viewing process, the very important part is you got to get a valuation of the property when you're buying the property, because the valuation of the property is very important when you want to buy that property. If the valuation from banks is so much lower than the asking price, you may have to pay the difference. You have to pay a lot more when you pay the initial payment of the property. Okay, after a property viewing process, after so many fun part, there comes the second part of it. That is, you have to sign what we call the temporary agreement with the owner of the property. That comes when you have to pay money. You know, during the property viewing process, you can view 10 properties, 20 properties. If the real estate agent is not annoyed, you can keep viewing without paying a penny. So when it comes to temporary purchase and sales agreement, you have to pay. How much you have to pay? That's going to be 10% of the property price. That is the down payment, what we call a down payment. When you pay the down payment, you will have about a month's time so that you can go to get a bank loan. You can go look for a low interest rate, whoever lend you that chunk of money to buy that property. In that time, you also find a lawyer to help you construct the contract with the original landlord. So that is not much of a fun, but actually you have to deal with that whole process. Remember that when you have that temporary buy and sell agreement signed, you are legally binded. Whatever the fluctuation of the price of the property, you will have to suffer. You know, sometimes when the market is really bad, if you pay that 10% down payment, the real estate price go severely lower than your agreed price, you may have to pay the difference if you don't want the property at the end of the day. So remember, when you sign a temporary buy-sell agreement, that's legally binding. If you don't want the property, you may have to pay the different price because the landlord have to sell it to the next seller again later on. So bear in mind that when you make that decision, it is an important decision. Maybe it is a lifetime decision, because I guess most people will probably buy their own home and they may only buy one property in their lifetime. So that's a very important decision. And then later on, there's the completion day. Remember, when you complete the purchase of the property, there's another 20% of down payment you have to pay. In Hong Kong, you usually pay about 30% of the real estate price as the down payment. But don't keep in mind that 30% of the housing price is enough, because there are other payments to pay. For example, for the management fee deposit, for electricity deposit, water deposit. There are many different kind of deposit to pay when you actually acquire the property. So better think about 35% of the property price that you have to pay. Remember the sales commission also, that's going to be about 1% of the property price. So that is also money that you need to be in your pocket so that you can acquire the property. When you actually sign up the contract, you start paying the mortgage. In Hong Kong, it's usually a monthly mortgage. You only pay once a month. You don't pay, in some other countries, they may be like twice in a month. So it doesn't apply here in Hong Kong, so it's only once a month. All in all, it is not a very fun process, but I guess most of the people need to know it, because I would say in Hong Kong, most people in their lifetime, they will do this purchase of a property once in their lifetime. After all, now the property market may be too high for you, but later on, when it comes down, it may be a good opportunity to make an investment. I would say, from my point of view, most people will find it good to buy your own property, because you have a better sense of belongings. Thank you.